Hey everyone, I know it's been a couple of weeks since I last made a video, but life's been pretty busy, pretty crazy, work, school, etc., etc. But I do actually have a couple things to talk about this time. Actually, it kind of feels like a lot of things, so hopefully I don't ramble too much and can actually get through all of them in one simple, streamlined video. The first thing I want to talk about, well, I just want to say that I will be talking about my most recent doctor's appointment too, but I'm not going to talk about that first. The first thing I want to talk about is something that I've seen in a lot of other videos. I've seen a lot of other people who are trying to conceive talk about what it feels like when it seems like the rest of the world is pregnant, and here you are trying so hard, putting so much effort, feeling, passion, time, money, etc. into something that you want so bad, and it seems like, at least on the surface, like the world can get it so easy. It's like, that's what I love about this YouTube community, is because there's other people out there who actually know what it's like to have difficulties trying to conceive for whatever different reason that it is, and there's nobody that I know, like, in real life that has, or at least nobody that I know of that has issues with trying to conceive, and it's not something I can talk about with just anybody, because so many people just say, you know, everything that you've heard before, you know, it'll happen when it's time, or, you know, maybe you weren't meant to have kids, which that one probably bothers me the most, or you can adopt, or, you know, just so many things that sound like they're trying to be helpful, but just aren't helpful at all. And I guess on that issue, and maybe the only reason why I'm talking about it is because I do know so many people who are pregnant that it's something that truly, truly affects me every single day. And, like, I smile, and it's so exciting for them, but I want that too. I want that so, so bad, just like I'm sure all of you do. And anyway, the reason that I'm talking about this is because, like, I don't know, a few days ago, somebody that I work with kind of confided in me that she had had an abortion in the fall. And I'm telling you, as easy or as difficult as it is to see so many happy pregnant people all the time, it was really difficult to hear that. Like, I don't know, I never, like, obviously I know abortion exists and that it's such a controversial issue, but it was still just kind of difficult to hear in the middle of all this. I don't even know why necessarily that I'm talking about it, because I'm not going to say much more about it, just sort of, I don't know, that I heard it. Anyway, moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is insurance companies. And if you're trying to conceive, it's likely that you've had to deal with them a time or two. And my husband and I are still at the beginning of this whole trying to conceive thing with professional help. I mean, we've given it our all for several years before we've actually gone to the doctor for it. But it's actually pretty cool because I found out we have pretty decent coverage. We have like a whole special infertility section that we had to register with, and we tried to do that last week, but it took like hours and hours of being on the phone with people from the insurance company who were incredibly nice and incredibly helpful. I'm really surprised by that, but I thought it was really awesome. Anyway, I guess the doctor that I'm seeing right now and getting medical stuff through right now isn't technically like an infertility doctor, but our insurance company was trying to find one that was close for us, so if these Clomid cycles don't work for us and we have to go on to more advanced options, she wanted to have one that was relatively close for us. Unfortunately, the closest one to where my husband and I live is like 4 hours away, so that was a bit of a bummer. But she was able to give us a pre-authorization code, so that way if we do get to that point, the initial consultation appointment is covered, which is pretty cool because it's like a $400 appointment. And often through that fertility clinic that's 4 hours away, there are satellite offices, which is just like 20 minutes away from where we live, which means I can have all the monitoring and stuff done there, most likely, and then actually have to drive the 4 hours for actual procedures. And that'll be for things like IUI or IVF, you know, depending on where we may have to go. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there, but hopefully these cycles work. I don't know, I'm trying to be really optimistic here. I guess the last thing that I want to talk about was my recent doctor's appointment, which was on Tuesday, which would have been cycle day 37 for me. No period, but I wasn't pregnant. They made me do a pregnancy test anyway, but of course negative. When you have PCOS, you don't really get too excited when your period doesn't show up because you're pretty used to that. She looked at my temperature charts, and it was sort of all over the place, which she said, you know, was a clear indication that I didn't ovulate. And, let's see. She said we could go one of two ways for this next cycle, but what she decided to do was increase my Clomid dosage, so I'll be on 100 milligrams of Clomid on cycle days 5 through 9. She also put me on metformin, which will be my first cycle with metformin. I have to take 500 milligrams for the first 2 weeks, and then it bumps up to 1,000. I think I've seen different videos and stuff on metformin, and I'm a little nervous about like side effects, but so far I haven't had any, which is good. And then I'm on the Prometrium again to induce a period, basically to start my cycle all over again, which, you know, takes like 10 days or so, which, I don't know. I'm glad I could use a break from temping and all of that just to rejuvenate. And I don't know, I always leave these doctor's appointments feeling so hopeful and excited, which is good because then it can propel me into the next cycle. And let's see. Speaking of trying to stay motivated and happy and excited, I kind of made a deal with myself